look at the BLM posters, they've always got that fist going on there, the fight the power fist, okay? That fist, it comes from the creators of, were the SDS, the Students for a Democratic Society, the SDS, okay? My mother was in the SDS. She was one of the youngest people in the founding early days of it. Most people don't know, they don't care, it's just drifted off into history and people just don't even understand, like, what the fuck are you talking about, SDS? The fuck, is that a drug? No, dude. Like, I can't use voicemail because of my voice. I'm actually fronting that all off right now. This whole thing I'm talking to you about with the CTS, okay, is like, again, part of that. Your mother caused all of this chaos because she couldn't fucking mind, okay? Woman, there's a lot of shit that I know, and I've told you 100 times. I can't tell you what's going on. I can't tell you what I'm dealing with right now. I can't tell you what's happening, okay? So what I can say is I need you to let me dance, okay? And follow my lead. If you need to stand on my toes, stand on my toes. Just follow my steps, okay? That's all you gotta do. Just trust in me. And we'll get there, all right? These are the conversations that your mother and I had. Well, why is that important? Because I was in the process of my SSBI, okay? When they do an SSBI, like I keep coming back to that, hold on. Sorry, my hair is in my face. Sorry, dude. Let's try this again. There we go. It's super hot in here, and I'm talking about stuff that's, have spent my whole life not trying to do. See how my arms are fucking small? Okay? It's because I starved to death. Okay, I went from, what was it, 235, 239 was my, 239, 245, 252 was like my weight scale. I was, when I was trim, I was about 14% body fat. Okay? But that was solid when I was trim. Between 14 and 30% fat, because after I got in a motorcycle wreck, I couldn't exercise anymore, and so I started putting on body fat because I was eating food once my jaw healed and I could chew again, okay, but like I broke a tooth, all kinds of other shit, okay, but my jaw was broken, it came out to the side of my, they call it zygomatic arch, but it's another story. But once I was able to like eat food again, I started eating and I started putting on weight, so, I put on weight, you know. What the hell was I talking about? Oh, the SSBI. I don't have anything written down. I'm searching my mental Rolodex here. The SSBI is like, they don't just look at you. I keep talking about security clearance, okay. They're not going to, they don't just, and again, I'm truly trying to express this with, imagine playing golf, okay. I'm just using like an analogy here for a second. Your boss invites you to play golf with them because he's thinking about giving you a promotion or whatever the case may be. Example. Okay, I'll use an example. When I was working at NASA, okay, all I wanted was one thing. Like, I talk about a VHS tape with The Simpsons that you used to watch and stuff like that. CD-ROMs were like a new thing, like a new invention. They didn't exist, and they were coming into existence. You know, CDs and music, okay, well that was, you know, they tried that a couple times throughout the early 80s and stuff like that, but CD music, that was kind of already kind of happening. But like CD-ROMs, like on a computer, was a whole different setup. I'm gonna get this mic out of the way. And like, all I wanted to do was take like those videotapes with The Simpsons, because like there was SP, LP, and then SLP, so like single play, long play, or standard play, long play, and then super long play. Basically, like the way a tape worked, it'd have two reels, kind of like two working wheels that are going to take a film and a spindle, like here's a roll of spindle over here, and here's an empty spindle over here, and you're just going to keep winding it, and then transfer this stuff over, and so that, going backwards, so that big spindle over here is going to eventually end up over here, and then the one over here is going to be just like empty. You know what I mean? I don't know if you know how tapes work, but anyway, it's like, you know, she stole us from each other. Okay? And so now you hear how fast I talk and how scatterbrained I'm at. Well, that's the damage of, like, being destroyed. I guess today they would call it canceled. To be canceled? Well, here's 20 years later. Thanks for canceling me. Good job. I called your mother Aphrodite. She called me a fucking demon. Believe that. Believe that. And that's why I'm trying to find you. I don't want you to grow up thinking that you're a demon. I would prefer it if you don't think that I am, but I could give two rats less. But the whole point is until you know what happened in your world, you're not going to know anything about it. You're not going to know anything about it. Self-loathing, again. Was it me? Did I do something wrong? Why does my father hate me? Why don't I have my father? Okay? It's because your mother drove him off. That's why. Anyway, step back and I'm not trying to badmouth your mother. She is a wonderful person. I just, not too enthused about her actions. She was spurred into it by my mother. My mother, let's go back to that one, drove off my father. Okay, that's what I was talking about. How did my parents meet? I told you about how your parents met, your mother and I. So we were saying it like that, but your mother and I met playing billiards, shooting pool. Okay? My father met my mother when he got stateside. He got back from Nam. He was actually in Cambodia and Laos, all up and down through there. At the time, we weren't supposed to be in there. Think of Tonkin. Okay? Like, my dad was in Cambodia. He was in a real war. Okay? Vietnam was just a conflict. Right? So, I grew up, just as you grow up, okay, surrounded by a bunch of guys coming home from Nam. Okay, so everybody smoked cannabis. Everybody was still wearing their fucking greens. Okay, their BDUs. But like battle dress unit. Anyway, battle dress uniform. I'm trying to think. I'm not reading. I'm staring at a. Whoops. Yeah. I'll just mess everything up. I got mice and keyboards and mousepad. I'm not looking. I have no notes. Or else this would probably be a 15-minute video. How could I express a lifetime to you in 15 minutes? That's why I don't agree about having sex on the first night. That's why I say get married. Get married first. Okay? You know, if your mother wants to go around and spend all my money and destroy my credit, well, you know, makes it a lot more difficult to do that. So you got the other end of the stick because your mother decided that she wanted to go around and spend my money trying to call up and oh, that was another one. That's what ended up this is what caused the whole issue with the SSBI, was like your mother would call my job, my work, not other people at my work, but she'd call my voicemail and leave messages with code so they wouldn't know, okay? Her code for picking up an ounce of fucking cannabis, okay, as she called it, weed or whatever, okay, a sack of weed she'd call it, it's cannabis, but anyway, her code word for that, oh, we ran out of baby food. That was her code for, hey, I just got us a half-off deal on an ounce of weed, could you come home, right? So instead of, $500, we're going to spend like $250. 500 an ounce. That's how it was back then. Okay. Now that prohibition's over, it's a lot more different. But anyway, that's another story in itself. But that was her code word. Her code phrase, if you will. Well, when you're at NASA, when you're at NORAD, if you're at Sandia National, if you're in JPL, Archuleta, phone's out there, and she wasn't around during all that. But like, don't do that. Stop doing that. Baby, you gotta treat this, you gotta follow my lead. Let me lead this dance. Stop trying to think you're no good at it. That's why I'm working at NASA and you're working at Toys R Us, Kitty World, whatever the fuck it is. Okay? Stop. Okay, I got a PhD in computer science. You got a fucking, $4.25 an hour minimum wage, fucking not even McDonald's, okay? You want to ride in my car, you're a passenger. Stop grabbing my fucking wheel, quit hitting my fucking brakes, or stomping on my gas, keep your hands off the stick shift, okay? Put your seatbelt on, shut the fuck up, and enjoy the music. Not to be rude about it, but that's how it got to a point. Next to the television, imagine like a mirror, like a reflection mirror, like you brush your get ready in the morning, like the camera is essentially a mirror right now. But like if you were going to get ready for the morning and you brush your teeth and comb your hair and all that stuff, a mirror, okay? They've got one like a dressing mirror. It's kind of like a wall mirror. They're like 16 inches wide and, they're, 6 feet tall kind of thing, just so you can stand in front of the mirror and take a thing. And that was kind of like in the living room, so as you're walking out the door, make sure that you're ready to go out the door, right? That's kind of how we had kind of had everything set up. It got to a point where I pulled out like a black marker, okay, or a pen. We were in a fucking argument one night again. I had like every day I come home, right? She had a knack of like keeping her boyfriends, like her ex-sexual interaction partners, okay? Like she'd keep them as friends. Oh, let's just be friends. Oh, well, we went back to being friends. That would be in scripture called a harlot, but we'll steer clear of that. Okay, but that's why God says don't do that stuff. You get one chance in life and one person in life, and unless that person has died off, okay, and you get one for one. That's how it works. You procreate, okay. One couple gets together and you have to have at least 7 children just to break even to procreate. You need to reproduce, okay. One parent, one father, one mother, right, are going to need 2 children on either side just to compensate for that. And then 2 in the middle, so 6, okay, just to break even. 7, just to stem the beginning. 7 kids, just to say, okay, now we're beginning to procreate, okay? Before it's just covering the spread, okay? That's just doing the binary exponential, but, So it needs like at least 7 to 8 to 9 kids. Usually 9 kids is usually what it takes to procreate. You know what I mean? And so with you, you're my only son. You're the last of my bloodline. You're the last of your bloodline. Unless you have another one. And if you take that little Fauci ouchie, a little jab with the fucking what's it called, the COVID, as soon as you take that shot, you're sterilized. You will no longer be able to have children. That's part of the shot. You don't know that. But that comes, again, I gotta be careful what I talk about. Again, I come from a world, like my career, like when I was working, like I had high-level security clearance. Probably some of the highest. I say I had a CTS-4, okay? That means out of 12, okay, push out on 11 down, okay, 8 from the top, 8 from the top, 8 from the top. Gross. Sorry, dude. I'm not trying to fucking spit, but I gotta spit. What the hell was I talking about again? Oh. I know shit that a lot of people don't know, okay? And I still know how to look shit up, and not saying the inner zones, okay? The shit I talk about, the inner zone, internet didn't fucking exist. There was the ARPANET, okay? DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, okay? I used to work for them, okay? There was the ARPANET, okay? But this is long before the fucking internet, okay? So there's... People go, oh, the internet, that was AOL. No, dude, okay? I've been on the internet since 1977. It was the ARPANET, okay? The ARPANET, okay? I'm so sick of fucking, you get a bunch of kids, what they call millennials or Zoomers or whatever, and like, they don't know shit. Like after driving a taxi, I'm going to sidestep for a second, after driving a taxi for 10 years, trying to stay alive and have a place to live, kind of like a Ninja Turtle, or a turtle with the Ninja Turtle shells, you can't really sleep in the back of your turtle shell, you know what I mean, but, always eating pizza and, got a skateboard to get where you got to go and all that kind of stuff, and like, that's what it was. And so I sleep in my little yellow cab and sleep in the back seat and go around, drive around all day from wake to sleep. So for 10 years I lived in a cab trying to, I met a planet of people, had every conversation under the sun, which is, again, one of the main contributors why, if you notice, my conversation breaks apart and I get because I've had these conversations, not secret ones, but many conversations with a planet of people. Like every 5, 10, 15 minutes I have someone new in my back seat talking about everything under the sun until it wraps around again. You catch my drift? But anyway, fun job. It's kind of like playing a video game.